I'm here with Raffer, support for Renegades. Tell me a little bit about this game you chose and what the meaning is to you.
So this set's a good one. It's a back and forth action. It's perfect for the spectators. Very stressful for the players. You know, like for myself. And it was good. It was a good set. We should have lost, but makes it even better. You know, we should have lost and we won.
It feels like it set the tone maybe for the rest of the best of five.
Definitely. Like, obviously at this point, our scrims were so much different to like how we were. Energy versus Obey. We were playing like Erlang support and getting like triple kills either way, and then we would F6 like before the waves even spawn, and then comes to the finals and it all ends up just back to team comps rather than just smoking at level 1, because we knew what the other team knew. So unless you're gonna just pull something random out the bag, it was always gonna be like, if it was any way like scrims, it wouldn't have been as hype as it was. That's all I'm saying.
So normally a lot of people will choose like the final game of a set to figure out what the picks and bans were at the very end and what the meta was established. But this is the very first game that you chose. So there is nothing to like really reflect upon. So what was Energy's game plan going in, and did you feel you guys get everything you wanted? And how did you feel that Obey's draft was compared to yours?
So we feel like in drafts, if we played how we were playing in scrims, it would be 50-50, you know. Whereas if we pick a comp in this, like to this caliber, team comp, we'd just win naturally because we're just better players, better teammates. And that's how the drafts ended up planning out. As you can see, like even they picked like a team comp because they knew we were picking a team comp, possibly. I obviously can't say why they picked their comp, but I assume it's for the same reasons of they obviously didn't want to do the level 1 stuff because they thought they were the better team. And you know, I respect that. You should always think you're the best or else you won't get anywhere.
Yeah, Thanatos probably picked to try to focus you out on the Khepri with your Scarab's Blessing, then the Thor adapting. Was he a fan of the Thor at the end of Season 3? We know he loved it in Season 2.
His Thor pick was pretty random. Like, it'd be always one of those where he'd say, adapting would say, well, Thor is smite on hard mode. You know, there's way other like better junglers and stuff like that, and then he'd just pick it anyway, or pick Fenrir randomly and stuff like that in Worlds, which we were all to that caliber. Like, I would say, just get me Fafnir, and people would say, oh, you haven't practiced it, and Emil would just go, fucking lock it in, Raf, and then just go, and then it just lock it in for me randomly. He said, you know, he's feeling it. So I love Emil.
That's a great synergy that you guys have.
Yeah, like he knows, he trusts me, I trust him, unfortunately. He'll understand that meme, but...
Yeah. So the very first blood going into this game was a little unexpected from my side because Dimmy, not really known for struggling at all against anyone, but against Variety, it felt like everyone was struggling against Variety at this Worlds, and we were talking behind the scenes about the relic selection for Dimmy.
I was speaking to Variety about this actually, and I was like, you know, how did you shaft Dimmy so hard? What the hell happened? You know, like Dimmy is a great player, and it's like absolutely nuts. Like I tend to see him die from ganks. Like in the C9 sets, you'll see like we'll get a kill on the left side and he'll die on the right side, or vice versa. But they'll come to team fights and be great. But in this, like the experience with this game, it was purely like relic and misplay with the relic. Like I wouldn't take that away from Variety. He seen the relic and he just took advantage of it, and it was really smart of him. Like I said myself, like Variety definitely deserved to win this Worlds. Like he played lights out. It's crazy.
I think when we were discussing who the MVP was for the final set, we still were thinking about giving it to Variety, but we were like, it has to be someone from the winning team.
I would have preferred Variety myself, but was it Yamin who got MVP? No, Emil who got MVP?
Emil in Season 3.
Yeah, he played absolutely sick as well, so I prefer Variety to get it just to take off Emil.
Just to stick it to Emil. And speaking of Emil, he's going to receive a little bit of pressure from Mr. Captain Twig at the 632 mark. Was he ever scared of this kind of global pressure?
No, he knows. Like, he's really good with relic usage, and I'm surprised he didn't ult that. Like Emil usually is the sort of person who would ult it straight away and save his relic because he know that was the best play or whatnot. But maybe his relic first, bought in time so adapting could come. But it was a brilliant play by him, and he was never scared. Like he knew it would be at least a 1-for-1 trade minimum. So Emil's the sort of player like me who'll always die for a 1-for-1 if it benefits you, because obviously adapting's getting the assists there as well, and with him being like a hard carry.
What's his comms like when he's getting ganked?
he's calm. He'll just say, you know, just they're coming left, help, and then they'll come to gank, and then they'll die, and he'll call them fucking idiots or something like that. You know Emil. He's a good man.
Speaking of Emil, he has to unfortunately face check the Gold Fury over here around the 758 mark. After this trap that Obey laid on Emil, what have you guys learned from that?
So we already knew about stuff like this, like baiting on wards and baiting at gold. It's just a really well executed plan by them. It was the case where Emil had to play a bit higher up and then risk the gold dying. By that I mean like coming from like the buff side, so we can see if they're actually on it or whether they're baiting. But I respect it. You know, there's nothing else he could do. It's worlds, comms are going absolutely ham, and you know he'll say Eddie on the gold, and then if I say I don't know, then he has to check. So then he checks and gets punished for it. Probably, I don't even know where I was, but it's his fault. Not my fault.
Definitely not your fault.
Definitely not my fault.
Well,
Emil's fault.
It's a parallel universe where the supports are actually the least to blame. But this time, they actually are starting Gold Fury. They secure it with I'm a Monster and a Hog.
Yeah, you see how fast that went down? It's like absolutely crazy how fast it dies. And if Emil didn't check, that would have happened. And I mean, it wouldn't have happened, but it could have happened.
And then you guys force mid after you get pulled. How dare they even try to kill you?
I don't know why you pull a tank in that has CC like Khepri, but I'll take it.
And then Adapting goes in. He really wants to kill Twig here, and it feels like you were punishing Adapting for diving almost by not ulting.
So what happens here is I say, I have ult, and he obviously hears me as ult, trusts me, and just goes in. And then I think it was about 2 or 3 mana off. It was like 1 more tick, because I used my 2, I miscalculated, and I was 1 tick of mana off. It was because I used my 2 right on right there to 2 him, which was like obviously a poor play. I should have just ulted him straight up.
Sorry, it's not your fault. You were punishing him for being aggressive.
Yeah, of course, punish him for being so greedy, but...
All right, so further down the road, yet again, Obey tried to go on you around 12.5 minutes into the game.
That doesn't sound like Obey.
No.
Killing the tanks.
How dare they try to go on the Raffer?
The God-given talent.
The God-given talent.
Like here right now, I've got an XP lead for where I should be in a support. I finished my Sov, and then Twig obviously has not calculated it in his head. If I went straight hardward, sure, he would have killed me.
He also shelled as he landed.
Yeah, of course. So that's like even more prots on top of it. It's no way he was going to kill me. Yeah. Like, and even if so, it wouldn't have been worth it, because like you see here, it's a 2 for 1 after them diving. What would it been like? A 2 for 0. Sorry, it would have been a 2 for 1, best case scenario, and now it's a 3 for none. I'll take it.
Yeah, trying to kill the Raffer.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Not the place.
Not unless I'm trolling, but I don't troll at Worlds. Definitely. Only the last Worlds, whereas you may.
So this gank onto Variety is kind of forcing Obey to force the Gold Fury with their number advantage. But it felt, from me, from the outside looking in, that both teams were playing a little sloppy around this Gold Fury. How was the tension or the feels like for Worlds?
Yes. So here I've gone in, I think was I plucked or pulled then? I think it may have been both at the same time. But anyway, it was, let's see. Yeah. That was a very strange interaction. But yeah, like I shouldn't have gone in. I called that I'm dead. And then obviously Twig mistimed his ult. So then I start screaming, go in, because I seen like an opportunity for the turnaround. And then it ends up happening. But I think the whole thing is like poorly executed by us at the initial point, where they try and gank Variety, who has physical defense breastplate, so we could probably get 2 rounds of healing before they even kill him. And then Obey does the right thing of pulling gold. I make a mistake of going in, but then they make 10 times more mistakes by, it was especially Twig's ult. If he killed me originally, I'm pretty sure they would disengage and got the gold like cleanly. But yeah, they were like the main mistakes from what I can recall.
And this time, a much cleaner fight from you guys. Yet again, they're trying to kill Raffer. You get off the revive. Sick portal by Yaman.
That portal pretty much won that. And then the snipe won that too. And then obviously Kenneth as a free person to go on after that. But it's a nice silence by Twig, which I'm not sure if Janus 2 would have hit. But Prime ends up the one getting punished for all this because I'm playing a dumb character like Khepri.
Yeah. Funny interaction over here. I think Adapting was about to kill Ataraxia when he dunks in, but then he accidentally takes the portal backwards. So he couldn't chase down Ataraxia either way.
Are you sure? I think it probably.
Oh, you think he was going to
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I think it was one of those because we had this problem around this point where we would just keep chasing. Ends up the point where you die, someone else dies, and then the timers stagger, and then they end up getting the gold or the fire, and it just goes out of control, and then you lose the set just off that. Whereas we're pretty disciplined at this world, so disengage were nice and clean.
Do you think that's why you drafted Janus so early in most of your games?
It could have been that reason, but I think it was mainly the reason that Yamin was sick at it. He had like so many portals, and you know, like the perfect one on me that got me out, and then he'd like hit multiple people with his 2, and then nearly hit like one-shot snipes, which I think he does this game, or he's close to doing it.
Yet again, Obey trying to kill you consistently. You're poking out Panda like a little bit. All the setup in the world, not enough to take out Raffer.
No, it's one of those where they need to stop at this point. Like they need this voice that tells them there's another primal on me, does 15% of my health. Like he needs to do these on the carries. Like look at the HP of all the carries now, and then look at my HP, and I'm just stood there. Like,
yeah. You eating a crush. You're looking at the enemy team. You're the only one with the ultimate available, and you're like, you want to go?
Well, that's it. You know, they can go on me. They can keep going on me. I'll take it. Yeah. But at this point, they needed to stop. Like someone needed to be that voice in the team that said, "We're not killing Rafa. Stop going on him." Because like how many times do you see us going on Frezzy? You know, it's always we're going on Prime or Nate. You know, forcing their ults out.
So despite all that shenanigans, I think Obey come out with a fire giant throughout the game, but you guys learned something from Season 2 Worlds. We've been calling it the Energy Special, but this is more like the Cloud9 Special that you guys learned, the split pushing when behind?
Yeah, it's purely Cloud9. That dates back to the first game versus C9 at Worlds. The first set where we got a quadra kill. It wasn't a quadra, it was unofficial. No, it was a triple kill by Yamin, and then Emil stole the last kill. Remember that. And then we got the Gold Fury. And Dimmy dies in solo because he gets ganked, and then they get all the solo farm. Mm-hmm. So that's how it all started out. Like we were absolutely destroying them, and then they just split pushed the whole map. And they were just running us around, and people like Dimmy was TPing when he shouldn't. I'm like, why are you TPing? You know, to us in the fight, I'm like, they're pushing right, so then they push right, we lose yet again another tier 2. It was just absolute chaos, the comms. We never dealt with anything like that. I'm not going to say it's Dimmy's fault, but, you know, it's like he's never experienced anything like that. I hadn't.
Yeah, no one has really against them, and you guys do it. So you guys get a tier 2 tower while they get a tier 2 tower, keeping yourselves still relatively cleanly, because honestly, it's so difficult to defend when you're behind with an enemy team with fire giants, so that makes a lot of sense from that regard. And but you guys, despite being behind, would still fight into them, like at 32.5 minutes in.
It's purely because of the team comp. Like our team comp is so nice at fighting. You have obviously CC after CC with Khepri. You have Kronos who can get a clutch rewind, and Yamin who could get a one-shot potential on Janus.
And speaking of one-shot potential with Janus, I think that's what happens in this little fight. He hits Panda-like, almost hits Pretty Prime as well.
Yeah. It's unfortunate he didn't hit Prime. Like, I think that would have been an even better target. But there they are. Like, I'm dead. Good job, boys. You killed me, maybe. Guess not.
Nope.
Me out again. And then at this point, I think at this point right now, they're screaming, like, let's not go on Rafa again. Like, even though they are winning the team fight, I think if they didn't go on me, they would have like cleanly won it so much more.
Later down the road, Obey still with a little bit of a lead, forced the fire giant. And Dimmy straight up brute forces his way in. And we were talking about that relic selection before, of how somebody had to go for it.
Yeah,
it works out.
We were at a weird position at this Worlds, because I think it was C9, again, like, they gave me so many problems with me buying the Hand of the Gods, where it came to the point where I said, I'm not buying it. Kenneth, you're buying it. And then Kenneth, he's a pretty selfish player, so he said, well, I'm not buying it. Whereas Twig is like the total opposite, where he's really not selfish. Because, you know, that comes with traits. Like, you can also, you're not saying it is a bad thing, like, it can be a good thing to be selfish. So then you'll stop this domino effect of people dying one after another. You know, the selfish person might say, well, stop dying, you know, and then people do stop dying. But in this case, like, Dimmy ended up getting the hog, and I think we probably would have won the set harder if he didn't buy it. I feel like if he had an easier timing lane, we wouldn't have even needed the hog at that fire. But you never know, you know, it's something else could have messed up. Like, they could have went all in on Kenneth just because he didn't have beads.
And you guys are still fighting and clawing your way back into this game.
Emilito.
Yeah, a little Khepri clawing the way back into the game.
We're on the same page now.
Emilito over here, backdooring the middle Phoenix.
That's just Emil in a nutshell. I'm not looking forward to playing against this AIDS in the SPL. Like, Emil doing dumb stuff like that. Like, even in scrims he does it too. He's an idiot.
Yeah,
I love him for it though. He's so good.
Pretty Prime almost getting one shot over there.
Again, the Giannis nearly one-shotting. Does multiple damage with his 2. Like, he's so much value. Like, he's doing so much value, more than he's worth. Like, Yamin in this set. Like, again, he could have been MVP again of this set, of this Worlds. But we all know what Emil did for us. Like, getting that Phoenix really, really hard to PvE in Smite.
And 10 minutes later, like, still a lot of action between both of you teams. Obey has a pretty good engagement around the 46-minute mark in the mid lane, taking everyone off, and I call this the greatest hold ever. What's your mind going through during this whole interaction?
It was crazy. Like, this fight that was happening outside, we caught Prime, but it just felt bad. Like, we were going outside the Phoenix, and we were like not all together as a 5, so it just felt like an awful engagement, and it ended up happening. And then when Yamin died here, it was like you could feel like that really bad feeling in the back of your throat. Like, we're relying on Emil here. Like, he has to hold, and he plays this perfectly. Like, he couldn't have played this better. He knew Nate had the damage, and I feel like Nate messed up going that left side. If he went the right side, he would have been in such a safer spot. He probably beats himself up about that.
And then the ultimate.
And then the ultimate for positioning, like, that is perfect. And then obviously I called that I have my ult, so I 2 him. Getting rooted together was really bad. But then I get the ult off, obviously, and then the 2's on Emil again. So, like, we're literally just shredding them. And then we position badly, and then you get the 2-man fearless. I'm screaming split up, but then we run together, which I think wouldn't have even made a difference. I don't think we could escape. And here, I was about to take my headset off. And then I was like, oh, shit, they can't end. You know, I was literally about to take it off, and I'm not sure what happens if you take it off. I know you're not allowed to.
But yeah, with the Titan resetting, it heals up, so that's why probably, even without minions like Twig and Variety, didn't have the damage to get in there. Still buying you guys a second, third life at this point with how long this game has been going on, until finally, around 49 minutes into the game, you guys have the sickest fight ever.
Yeah, it's like absolutely crazy how many lives we had. Like, so much could have happened differently in the last fight, but now here we are, and I think Prime nearly one-shots Emil, and then you get to rewind off, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it's
right
here. That was absolutely crazy. And from that ult, and then the Dimmy escaping Twig's ultimate, like, we kind of knew we won the game off this. Like, Emil's just free casting after that initial ult. We knew it was GG.
You could see Prime's face, actually, as he dies. Look at the player cam of him dying. He knows he needed to be alive for that one.
I think his frustration is Emil being one shot, because I know this from experience. When Emil gets out on 1 HP, I just want to punch him. Like, it's just Emil. He'll just say, well, it was calculated, and just be an idiot, and you just want to punch him.
How would you rate Emil as, like, in the troll category? Is he like the top
he's
troll?
top tier. Like, he's
S tier.
Yeah, S tier, along with like my 4 teammates. They're pretty S tier as well. I'd say about an F. Not really that troll. But like at this point, like, Kenneth's mechanics, you know, is why he's a top player. And it's crazy just like how many people stepped up for like Worlds. Like Yamin and Emil, I think those two impressed me the most. they were like the hearts of energy, like especially Emil, because I knew like people like rate Yamin really high, which I agree with, but Emil, when I'm going in like early like that every time, I know he's the one with me. It's how I feel with Dardez now. Like if I'm going in, I'm doing something dumb, he's gonna be there. Like he's gonna die with me, and we're just gonna laugh it off or whatever. And that's why I have a lot of respect for Emil, and I'd love to play with him again. Like, well, I would have loved to, but now I'm with obviously my team now, and like with Funball and like, the synergy with my team so much. Like I just absolutely love it. It just reminds me of this time with Energy, minus like a few different factors, which I won't go into. But.
Sure. After this game, most teams and players would be cheering that the fact that they're in the finals, they just won game number 1 after a long, drawn-out 50-minute game, but you guys, it feels like it's another day in the office. You guys almost look exhausted at this point, and it's only game 1 in a best-of-5 set.
I wouldn't say it was exhaustion, it was more of we should have lost. We all knew we should have. We had so many lives, Twig messed up so much, and I'll openly say that because I'm pretty sure he's open to criticism too. Like he'll say I messed up so much, which I did too. But he definitely opened the door in this game for us. And who else was it? Like, I think it was just a main like team call. I'm not sure who was calling to go on me, but they don't like me very much, do they?
No, definitely.
I must have BM'd them in the ranked game. They're like, right, kill Rafa as much as you can. And when you have this idiot Kefri, he keeps reviving himself. It's going to only add more frustration. He's like, he's so out of position. But there's a reason you're out of position, you know. You get these monsters like Yamin and Emil just absolutely destroying team fights. And I think that last team fight probably would have ended up in more and more and more action, relying on them to make mistakes. But Emil ulted on 1 HP because he's so lucky.
Insane.
He is lucky.
A little bit of
RNG.
luck on both sides, though, because Pretty Prime survives that one Giannis ultimate just
True.
barely.
True.
Very high burst mage damage from both of these players. So it was a fun game for spectators, but it felt like it was very stressful for not only you guys, but Obey. How would you rate the stress level now?
For them, I think there'd be more I don't know, I'd say the stress is because like we really believe we're the best team and we're struggling and we should have lost. Whereas they should have won, they think they're the best team and they lost to that manner. Like how the hell you lost to like that position? Like they had it handed on a plate and they lost from it. They missed so many easy mechanics. But that's just nerves for you at Worlds. But it was a well played set really. I respect all the players that were in it. They played it well, they played it to the heart, and especially like the difference between scrims and that, it was so troll because there was like triple kills at level 1 and stuff. It was definitely fun to play in, but
Yeah.
only when you win it.
Season 3, the early game shenanigans was very high up there. Do you feel that after winning this game that you guys were just going to straight up win the set?
We'd never believe that because like there was always these like pocket picks like a Mercury which could really cause havoc to like people. Like if he gets absolutely fed and he like 2 shots to Kronos and Kronos can't do stuff, like you can always lose a set. Like you can never go through thinking. I think the only time I've ever thought I'm gonna absolutely smash this set was against Enemy, the first Worlds.
Season 2,
Yeah, we were like, well, I guess we've won Worlds, and we did. You know, it was really clean 3-0. We went behind a couple of times, but we knew, like, we feel like the Enemy got to the finals because of, I'm not sure what they were called at the time. Is it Paradigm?
Paradigm, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they just messed up picks and bans, and then when you tried to recover, they were too tilted.
I agree. I think that you versus Cloud9 in the semifinals should have been the finals, but it was an epic set for sure in Season 2. Thank you so much for your time, Rafa. Before we end the video, is there any shout-outs you want to give? And tell the fans at home where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at, my handle's at iRafa, just on everything, and shout out to myself for being God-given talent.
Thank you again, Rafa.
No
for your
problem.
time.